to us, and this also the main. I'm sorry. Also, the main objective is to break Brunei Book of Records, which is for now is 30K pieces of dominoes, but we are planning to do more. Okay. So as I mentioned just now, the participant of this project consists of students of UTB from Faculty of Engineering, which is us, the mechanical engineers, and also from other engineering faculties such as civil engineering and so on, and also School of Design, School of Computing, and School of Applied Science and Business. This is also in collaboration with the Center for Communication, Teaching, Learning, which is with Dr. Zaiti's department, and also ReLA, non-profit organization. This, which the president is here, Dr. Zaiti, and her partner, Senase. So this is the Brunei Book of Records. So this is our target for this project. So the first one, as I mentioned, is 30,000 pieces of dominoes. Of course, we put 30 to 50,000, but if we get more to collab with us, we might even extend to more than 50,000 pieces. The second thing is the tallest domino tower. The 3 meter, with our target is 3 meters tall, which is double the size of a normal human height. Average man. Yeah. So the third one is longest domino chain, which is just a straight a chain of dominoes, which is 10,000 dominoes long, and also the largest domino wall, which is 10 meters. I will show some examples of what we have on our some ideas that we have on our mind. So for the Brunei Book of Records, this book, the first edition of this book will be presented to His Majesty on the 1st December, in which I'm sorry. Okay, so the Brunei Book of Records, we are planning to be on that book from the achievement that we get, and the first edition of this book will be presented to His Majesty on the 1st December. And our plans, our marketing plan is to collab with
So basically the video that will be done during the day of the domino is going to be recorded and edited professionally by our videographers and video editors, and we will be publishing them in various different sources like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and we'll invite all these other news agencies to come to increase the publicity of this project. Yeah. So we would like to offer Royal Brunei to be a corporate partner to our Domino project. So basically, this corporate partnership is for you guys to have a space of about 1.5 meters to 0.96 meters. This is the space of dominoes where we would recreate the Royal Brunei logo during the day, which will be also recorded on videos to be published on different sites. This is an example of the dominoes. As you can see, we have the length, the dimensions, and how it's going to look like on the actual day. So this will be created and built by our creative design and engineering team to be, we'll make sure that it looks exactly like how the logo looks like, and even after it falls down, it will still hold the the logo.
So this is some of the ideas, inspiration that we have. This is 10,000 dominoes, and so on to 20,000. So this one is a domino project made out of books. So for this project, we're not only limited to pieces of dominoes, but then we were trying to do other pieces such as books. If it's possible, we're gonna use mobile phones, like this example. Here. So what's amazing about this one is that if you watch the video, this person they make a domino out of 10,000 iPhone pieces, and then if you see here, there's an elevator. So when the domino falls down, the door of the elevator will open, and then there will be pieces of mobile phones in there, in which this part, the phone from outside will topple down the domino inside the elevator. So when the elevator goes down, the elevator goes up while the domino is still falling. Then when we got to the next floor, the pieces of the dominoes will still continue to fall and topple down the other dominoes on the next floor. So that's how one of the amazing thing about this one. And we have the domino project is toy cars. This one we were planning to do something along the line with we're playing around with toys and other stuff to topple down the dominoes. We might even our ideas also is to topple down the dominoes using some kind of GoPro. So the GoPro will have attached to a string, and it will go to the domino and topples it down, so we can see as if something. There's a point of view when
It's a first-person point of view.
First-person point of view when it topples down the dominoes. So this is the domino pyramid. Do you have anything to add?
So to add on for the logo, maybe we can attach Royal Brunei airplane. For example, like the outside one, but maybe a smaller one. Attach it to the GoPro. Then maybe we can use a string to attach to the Royal Brunei airplane. Then we like crash the domino, but in a proper way.
Like that sounds like crash, right? We're talking about airplane crash.
What's that? It's like a proper landing.
Yeah.
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 Don't crash it.
Tax is down. Tax is not progressing.
So this one is the world tallest domino tower, which is
Empire State Building.
Sorry.
Empire State Building. Kind of, huh?
Yeah.
So we just took inspiration from this lab. So this one is 20 feet, which is
Just about 7 meters.
Yeah, 7 meters. But from our target is about 3 meters, which is
The height of this
the
room.
height, yeah, 4 feet something, yeah. And so this is the flag. So we're gonna do Brunei flag around the dimension.
2 meters by 1 meter.
Yeah. Wait. UTB logo. These are videos only. Sorry.
Continue.
Okay. So
Should we show the teaser video?
yeah, apparently I tried to search for it. It's
Okay,
not.
I have a teaser video. So this is basically a miniature version of how it's going to be like on the actual day. So I have it through the phone.
Let me try. I have it here. It's on a larger screen here. So. Okay. We don't have it on that.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay lah. So here, it's way better. Huh?
All are done by the students.
All events done by the students. Ah.
By next week. Thursday.
So yeah, it sounds very interesting. I'm not very sure what support you're expecting from us. We haven't really shared what kind of support you're expecting from us and what our roles would be as a corporate partner.
Okay. Maybe you
No,
can.
I think that I'll interject later on, but try to explain.
So, what? Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I mean, like it sounds very interesting, like your initiative, like breaking the record or introducing a world record, national record for the Dominoes. So I just want to know further what you're expecting from Royal Brunei and what kind of support and where our roles are as a corporate partner.
So, what we're expecting from Royal Brunei to from our project is that one is to get more promotion for our project. So it's kind of a two-way because Royal Brunei will be participating with us for this project, and then what do you wanna add?
Yeah, we will invite you on the day of the event to see it in action. As well, you will get the final edited video. What we would like from Royal Brunei is a contribution of BND $1,500 because there are costs associated with building, transporting, buying Dominoes itself, as well as other marketing purposes. So that's
Yeah. And also we're gonna make a video about this project in the end, like showcasing what we're doing, and then in that video we will showcase everything that we've done, such as such as this, and then that video will be posted on YouTube, and
Why don't you go through the list, guy?
uh,
At the top there.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
so
Make it bigger.
Masarkan sikit.
So, this is the benefits that you might get, and you will get if you become our corporate partner. One, of course, we're gonna make the Domino logo. And then the corporate partner will be on our video, as I mentioned just now. Because this video will stay on YouTube, right? And then we will try to promote this video as much as possible, so that in a way this is kind of like a promotion, in a way.
So which records are we expected to take part? The largest number of Dominoes or
All of
which
it.
one? All of that?
All of it.
Yes.
Oh, I think just to add on, yeah, all these records are actually all interlinked.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when one logo hits, okay, when it'll start off something along the lines of Brunei flag, and that'll fall. Then it'll go into UTB logo, that'll fall. Then because it's all linked up together, then ReLA logo, Brunei Book of Records, so on and so forth, right? Then it'll go. Then once the chain hits the largest number of dominoes, it'll hit the well, it'll hit the tallest domino tower, the tallest domino wall, so on and so forth. So all the other corporate partners, after all that hits, the corporate partners, it will also interlink with the other dominoes of the other corporate partners as well. See what I mean? So what would happen is there will be, during that recording itself of the whole, so it will not be standalone, then stop. Standalone. It'll just be all linked up, so it could be like a 4 or 5 minute.
It'll be like continuously.
Exactly. because the objective here is to hit the largest number of dominoes. So if it gets cut off, then it won't be sahtia. You see what I mean? So the idea is that if you become a corporate partner, the 30,000 is bare minimum. So what everyone is trying to explain is that if you become a corporate partner, let's say you wanted to build a logo that was of a certain size, and let's say that was 1,500 dominoes or 2,000 dominoes, then your contribution would be the 30,000 plus the 2,000 plus any other corporate partners. So as Kai mentioned earlier on, it could potentially even go beyond the 50,000, but at the moment it is expected to be around 30 to 50,000, round about there.
Essential build.
Yes. So what would happen is, at the end of the event itself, ReLA Brunei will get a certificate. So this certificate would effectively be, as a corporate partner, as a certificate of participation in which you contributed 2,000 dominoes out of, say, 47,000 dominoes, and that would also be it will be signed by Brunei Book of Records and all the other key organizers as well, universities, so on and so forth, right? In addition, you'll also receive a copy of the Brunei Book of Records as well for your participation at the same time.
So which other corporate partners do you have on board already?
At the moment, we've spoken to quite a number. So we've spoken to DST, Shell, BIBD, CAF, quite a number of other companies as well. Now that said, understandably it's a little bit last minute at the moment. But do you have any questions on the participation at the moment?
So you're looking for $1,500 sponsorship to support this one, right?
Well, the answer is yes, but it's not called a sponsorship. We've already met up with the Ministry of Home Affairs. So the Ministry of Home Affairs states that this is not a sponsorship, because if it was a sponsorship, you'd be paying for, you'd give a certain amount to the event, but the event can do whatever they want with that fund. So effectively, in this case, it's a little bit specific. So Kai, can you go on to the next page here? So you get all of that, and to the bottom line there. Yeah, bottom line. Asalkan sikit. So that's basically what it entails, what the 1,500 would all include in that sense. Yeah? So it includes all the purchase as what was mentioned earlier, the purchase, transportation, because it's got to be, the dominoes are not in Brunei. They actually have to be flown in, you see.
Yeah,
so they're bought in Malaysia, transported here. So then, of course, all the photography and videography that comes along with it, and of course, all the other forms of marketing that comes along with it. I think, as I mentioned, one good point that we've already discussed with some of the other corporate partners is that normally when you do a sponsorship, what happens is that on the day of the event, you get acknowledged. You have your advertisement, you have your logo there, and then it disappears. And maybe into the newspaper, it'll just be, and ataupun maybe it might be mentioned, maybe it may not be mentioned, you know. But in this case, this is going to live on in perpetuity because of that video. So it's mentioned that it'll go into the Brunei Book of Records, of course.
Someone else breaks that record.
Yeah, and we'll show that video.
Yeah.
Once
No
it goes
one
into the
breaks it.
YouTube, once it goes into YouTube, it's just going to stay there,
Yeah.
regardless of if someone breaks it
But
or
in
not.
that book, the physical book,
Yeah.
it will be recorded in the book until someone breaks your record the following year. But until no one breaks it, for every year, publish the same thing.
But Brunei Book of Records has confirmed that
Yeah.
even if someone were to break every one of those records, whenever that
Future.
happens, there's one record that will always be maintained, which is the first.
will
You
always
see?
be
So the first is always maintained
Yeah.
regardless. So
That's why you need to
whoever
push
does the second, it cannot be the
Yeah,
first lah. So
yeah.
that will always be maintained regardless. And and inshallah, for future publications, the the mention of those records are going to continuously be in all future
Editions of the
publications
book.
of the Brunei Book of Records as well.
It will remain in the book.
So, are you all gonna practice this to ensure that it's successful when it comes to the domino drive?
Sorry?
Are you gonna practice this to ensure that
Oh.
it's successful?
Well, I let everyone answer.
They
They're
have
already
been
doing
there
it
the
right now.
past few months,
Yeah.
and the building
And
itself will start.
Those videos early on were actually done all by them.
Yeah.
Okay, but in terms of the actual records that you're trying to create, you all have practiced that already, like the tallest records, the biggest one, longest chain,
What about you guys?
and you would
Well-
incorporate like the company corporate logos into
Yeah,
that
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
isn't it?
Like, why don't you show the ada yang gambar? Ah, there you go. That's the actual one.
Oh, you done your homework already.
But it's a bit bigger.
But this will be this is a smaller version.
Version.
See how many dominoes is this?
Roughly around 200.
But this one doesn't have the panji.
Okay.
In reality, I think because your logo does incorporate the panji kan, so it has to be there.
Yeah, we don't need the punchy. We do have
Oh, really?
the basic logo, so
Okay.
I think that
Oh.
we have that as well without the punchy.
Ah, okay.
So that makes it easier for you.
Yeah.
Well,
But you're requiring like 600 dominoes here. Is it
yeah.
roughly how big is that size? Size of this table? Is it?
and well, 1.5 by 1 meter.
So about the size of this table, slightly smaller.
That said, you have the option of if you so wanted to do something bigger lah, you know, because yeah, because it's sometimes it depends on some of the companies' requests and so one company in particular. They wanted to be. I mean, the discussions we've had is that they wanted to be the biggest, and also they wanted to be the first of all the logos of all the other corporate partners
Okay. Do you know how many confirmed partners you have at the moment?
Well, right now, because to be frank, we've officially started engagement since last weekend, because one of the we could only go all out on the participation because there was a little bit of I'd say confusion on well, no, I won't say confusion. Well, the one thing was a confusion on in terms of the sponsorship,
That was
because
an issue for
yeah, but that was clarified because some of the companies they were most of the companies understood this is not it's not a sponsored event. Some of the companies who were not sure, they were asking whether there was a surat from approval from the Ministry of Home Affairs. So we've already gone to the Ministry of Home Affairs, and the ministry have said that they can't issue out any sort of approval letter because it's not a sponsorship event. That's one thing.
Paid advertisement.
Okay.
So what they've said is, kalau in case there's a company yang who is not sure, they can call up Ministry of Home Affairs and just make mention of the UTB Domino project. They're fully aware,
Yeah.
and then they will officially inform any of those companies lah.
Okay.
So that was one of the things, the challenges that we have to wait for.
So we had to
wait for
clear those things
clarification
up,
because normally MOHA application is 3 months before. That's the process and the procedure. So you must inform them 3 months in advance, and then if it was sponsorship, but in this case it is not sponsorship, so we had to go through all those to clarify.
Yeah.
So, but now the thing is, we don't need the approval because there's no approval to
And
give.
this
That's
part
the
of-
other thing lah.
Because this is part of the communication project for my students. Basically, I teach them effective communication, and this is what the skills I look at into in terms of pitching and marketing. So divided into different groups. These are the marketing team. There's another different groups of students involved in different parts: design,